Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Rusty McCranie and welcome to Weather Express. It's your weather in 5 minutes. Before we start the clock, you'll notice this bandage on my forehead. Had to have a simple or small medical procedure. Everything's just fine, but the bandage stays on for a couple days. I know it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, so I'll take myself off camera the majority of this video. Now let's start the clock. And friends, as we get this video started, it's interesting. This weather change up here, areas that have been very active lately, like the southern plains, will be getting a little bit quieter. And other areas that have been a little bit on the quieter side are getting more active on this late Thursday. If you notice that warm front through Nebraska and South Dakota, that's the big delineation line between the warm, moisture-laden air, which is streamed all the way into the upper Midwest and the northern plains here. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s south of that boundary, 50s and 60s with just some rain right now for most of North Dakota, back into Minnesota and Wisconsin. But back off of the high plains, the eastern side of Wyoming and Colorado, that's where we're going to get the nasty storms developing. And this is our biggest risk for severe storms for today. That mainly encompasses portions of Nebraska and into the south central sides of South Dakota. The current severe thunderstorm watch that is into effect looks like this. And it does sneak into the southeast sides of Wyoming and the northeast sides of Colorado, so places like Cheyenne and Fort Collins included in that. Main threats are going to be winds of 70 miles an hour and some 2.5-inch size hail. And I got to tell you something, right now when we look at the current warnings that are into play, it is the hail threat. Look at these thunderstorms developing just east of I-25, north and east of Cheyenne. We had one quick tornado warning, but the hail is considerable with these thunderstorms that are developing in southeast Wyoming. Additional severe storms develop in the Colorado portion of I-25 from Fort Collins back to Colorado Springs, Denver area, of course, as well, and then work their way east. Another area of severe storms right now, south central sides of South Dakota. Again, big time hail producers there. We'll see the storms fill back into portions of the southern plains eventually, but the other big area is going to be through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Again, you can see the storms moving up towards Little Rock. Those have been isolated severe with one tornado warning in the Little Rock area earlier today, and then thunderstorms moving across I-20 right now through portions of Mississippi. And again, those will be isolated strong to severe. You want some gorgeous weather today? It's going to be in portions of the Northeast. I'm going to bring on the visible and enhanced satellite imagery. And again, gorgeous day there. Temperatures are absolutely fantastic. 60s, 70s, and 80s, just depending on where you are. Southeast, it's the typical summer pattern for us here. Showers and storms are very widespread, but nothing is very organized at this hour. Southeast winds in Florida are pushing storms from southeast to northwest. So across the I-75 corridor, they'll have better opportunity for storms. And storms will just congregate across Georgia and the Carolinas here with temperatures that are very seasonable for this time of the year, mainly in the 80s and 90s. Gonna get some big time wind in the southern plains here. I'll bring on the wind gusts. And again, you'll see some of that coming off of the Four Corners. And this is an area where things are going to be quite interesting in the coming days as far as the opportunity for some severe storms. You want to talk about some wind. Look at the current wind gusts here when I pause this in portions of Idaho and again back into Wyoming and Utah and Colorado. We've had some 40 and 50 mile-an-hour winds there. Now, it's been absolutely very fantastic weather here out west. When I bring on the visible satellite imagery here with the radar data, you'll see again the storms developing in the higher terrain of the Intermountain West. But along the west coast, things are quiet. A little bit of rain moving in right now. You can see that onshore flow in portions of coastal Washington and the northern sides of Oregon. But overall, just a little bit of cloud coverage, but otherwise we're looking pretty good. When we look at the active advisories that are currently into play across the country, the big opportunity for flooding is going to be in Arklatex in the Mid-South. So I'm worried about that to go along with some of the severe storms. And then there's your severe thunderstorm watch in pink for Nebraska and into South Dakota. All right, let's get into the forecast, friends. I'm going to bring up our HER model, our high resolution rapid refresh. And again, apologize for mainly being off camera today, but again, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing just to probably see the maps for today rather than staring at my forehead. If you guys take a look, we're going to have a spin developing in the Midwest over Missouri. That is going to promote some stronger storms there tomorrow and then through the Ohio River Valley up through the southern sides of the Great Lakes. Now, I don't expect anything to be very organized, but along that leading edge, we could get some winds of over 60 miles an hour, which could prompt some severe storms in those areas through the Appalachians and then through portions of the Northeast. Additional Rain is likely in the western side of the Great Lakes, but no severe weather. And then multiple impulses coming off of the Intermountain West should provide opportunities for some severe storms across the plains from North Dakota all the way down to deep South Texas over the next day or two. Again, the overall risk for storms today looks like this. With the areas I've already mentioned, the risk for severe storms for tomorrow actually includes Big Sky country and then back into the northern and the central plains and sinking down into the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. And then the risk for our Saturday will again be mainly in the plains with generalized thunderstorms east of the Mississippi River Valley. Right now it's just a marginal risk, but there'll be an opportunity for that to increase into that slight category in yellow as we get a little bit closer in time. Again, widespread heavier rain in some of these areas. We would expect the southeast this time of the year to be very wet, but portions of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, into Alabama and Georgia, we'll have to watch out for some excessive rainfall and the flood risk there as well over the next 48 to 72 hours. Friends, I appreciate you making Weather Express a part of your daily routine. Thank you so much for taking a quick second. Let me know where you're viewing from. Liking the video and subscribing to help support the channel. I appreciate that as well. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.